Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to some more Total War Warhammer, and welcome to my journey to become a much better player at the game. I really appreciate all the advice you guys gave me in the last video I did, and I will be taking that forward with me and hopefully refining my Bretonnian list. In today's battle, this was actually a battle I did before the previous one, so again, I would still be even more sloppy than I was in that battle. Definitely still learning the game a lot more and getting a ton better. I think next time I play on stream, I'll be, hopefully doing some Admiral stuff, obviously understanding the game a lot more. I think definitely bringing a bunch more fire arrows and also poison arrows as well will be really, really good. Just kind of using more cost-effective units rather than units that look cool on paper. So in today's battle, we are fighting a pretty sturdy Dwarven fortress with Gotrek and Felix in there. Again, pretty scary stuff and something that my list right here is not built to do. If we take a look at my list, I do have a decent amount of these questing knights. I think I have about 3 to 4 units of questing knights, which again are pretty great against the dwarves. However, you guys did point out in my previous video that dwarves are probably one of the hardest, if not the hardest matchup for Bretonnia, just because they have that excellent charge defense. The cavalry is not going to get impactfully in the units and do the damage. So in today's battle, it's going to be a pretty hard engagement. But again, if you guys see any major mistakes I'm making with the way I'm using units that I don't point out myself, again, let me know in the comments down below, because I am really trying to get much better at the game so that I can do a ton more in multiplayer and actually kind of understand what's going on in a more competitive battle and when people make big plays. So for the rest of my army, obviously we said we saw the questing knights. I think I have 4 units of the questing knights. Again, anti-infantry, armor piercing, really good unit against the dwarfs, but still that charge defense is still going to be painful to go in. I also have men at arms with shields, just for sword variant, because I thought there was no point bringing spears. The dwarfs don't have cavalry or really any large I have to worry about. So again, just a bunch of sword infantry. I also have a trebuchet or 2. These trebuchets were, I guess, really, I think a new pick. I don't think bringing trebuchets is really that efficient, because you're either going to get beaten back by a faction that has a lot more artillery than you, or you're going to find yourself in a situation where you just kind of get rushed down immediately and the artillery fires like 1-2 shots. Maybe you could make 1 or 2 of these work, but I just feel like this is a waste of 1200 gold, which basically pays for an entire another questing knight unit or something along them lines, which would have done a lot of work. I also just have some peasant archers scattered around. I think I have 3 units of peasant archers. Just the normal version of the peasant archers. You guys were telling me that the poison variant is really good, and I can definitely see why. If you guys could let me know in the comments down below though, what does the poison debuff actually do? I know it reduces their speed, but what else does the poison debuff actually do? It'd be really useful to know something along them lines. So that's going to be my army. I am also bringing the Fey Enchantress as well, just to give that passive healing. It's so goddamn useful. I think it's one of them down here. Whenever she casts a spell, she restores map-wide the HP of my units. Absolutely insane stuff, really strong, and definitely worthwhile. For the rest of the Dwarven army, you can see they do have a line of 2 sets of cannons. These cannons are going to be bombarding me and basically just destroying my artillery. I think I do slightly outrange the cannons, but again, it's not going to make too much of a difference, and I guess if I was really trying to micro them, I could probably do a good job at them. But again, it's kind of new player. This was like my 3rd game playing multiplayer Warhammer, so I'm sure you guys can cut me a little bit of slack. On his front line though, he does have the, I imagine, super efficient miners of blasting charges. These guys are going to be earning their keep, and look at that. I just take a full shot there from a set of cannons, killing so many models. Oh, it was so brutal. It really was. Saddens me to see me lose that much. Obviously, I'm going to have to get the Fae over there to try and heal them up. The dwarfs are obviously doing what the dwarfs do. They're kind of turtling up. They also have a set of 3 units of Slayers. They also have the Dragon Back Slayers, one of the regiments of renown right here. And then obviously the rest of their infantry is going to be Miners. They have a unit of, they have Gotrek, they have Felix, and also they have Grimgor as well. So I imagine this isn't like a super meta army or anything for the dwarfs. We were just having fun. But still, you know, something really hard for me to deal with the cavalry. I can't really take this formation head on, and the heroes and the Slayers are going to be a difficult unit to really crack. So right now I am just trying to kind of close the distance here, get my own artillery in. I believe as well, obviously using the artillery to try and take down as much HP off these Slayers as I can would be really useful. I've got more artillery coming in. And like looking at this, it's kind of like difficult. I don't really know how to approach this, because there's no way I'll be able to out-artillery him. I definitely have my own archers, which are going to be pretty useful. And obviously the cavalry itself, I'm going to try my best to bring like the cavalry basically around every single side so that I can at least threaten and try and just out-micro him and then hope that that does pay off. Taking obviously half a unit of questing knights down is absolutely brutal. I'm getting the regrowth off on them though, which is nice. You guys also gave me some really good tips as well, something I'm going to take into account next time I do play. As I'm going for a little bit of charge on the miners. Just trying to catch them a little bit off guard. Obviously the miners as well don't have the excellent charge defense, I don't think. So that cavalry can go in. However, I'm going to take some damage. So that was a really nice kind of micro. I was just trying to do that by just trying to kind of create some gaps. We do take some of the missile fire as well from the blasting charges. But again, I was basically just trying to kind of, you know, disrupt the Dwarven play because I feel like my micro is really my strength. My knowledge is what holds me back in these games. So I feel like I can try and maybe out-micro my opponent and just try and cause him loads of issues. When I do go in for a charge, you know, that forces him to look at something else, and then I can maybe try and make another charge and try and get a good charge off on, for example, these Dragonback Slayers. The main problem is when I obviously go in, and obviously my opponent is pretty smart at trying to counter-charge that. And again, that was an okay charge, but you can just see the Dragonback Slayers slaughter me as I go out. It's a good learning curve. I know not to really charge them because that was never, ever going to be worth it, really. And again, I'm just trying to kind of, you know, take out these miners because that really reduces his front line as best as I can. And just trying, you know, my best to use my archers. I have missiles right now. And these archers do pretty good against the miners and blasting charges. Obviously, they still have, you know, relatively high armor. They're dwarfs. They still have that armor value of 80. They're still pretty good nonetheless. So right now, I'm just trying to really utilize these hit-and-run tactics. My artillery is still coming off. My arrow fire is coming in. And again, I'm just trying to avoid any of these engagements. If he wants to charge me, he's more than welcome to do so. He can come down here, and that, again, opens up gaps for me if my opponent wants to come off this hill. I did also commit a unit of cavalry here. Pretty silly, honestly. A bit of a waste. I just tried to get on some artillery to silence it. Ended up seeing them being taken care of. And back here as well, I've got a lot of missile fire down on the Slayers. Just trying to, again, hit them. I kind of fell back my formation as best as I could. And just allow my archers to really go in. Oh, look at that miss micro right there. I must have clicked just in front of them. Realizing that and then having to get them out. Taking a few blasting charges. So as you can see, like, this game is sloppy. This is my second game or so. I think my third game. We played Skaven. We played someone else. And then we played this Dwarven game. But definitely a match I can still win at this point. You know, the balance power is still pretty even. His army is taking, like, that attrition damage of these hammer and anvils, of this, you know, constant peasant bow fire, which is really racking up the kills. So 400 gold, these peasant bows are doing amazing against the dwarfs, especially considering, as well, that the dwarfs don't really have a counter to this. Obviously, they can bring quarters, but my bows outrange them. So, like, the bows definitely do get their point efficiency. Obviously, not many kills on them. But, you know, they're doing damage to the armor values, which is really nice. And that HP is ticking down. So if we take stock of this battle, I feel like, yes, I've lost a questing knight unit, which is foolish. I tried to suicide it to kill the artillery. Wasn't worth it. I've learned my lesson. But, like, for the most part, like, I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot right now. His army is looking kind of weak. This is also a matchup as well. But when I bring the Fey Enchantress, we get this beautiful charge of my questing knights coming in, that HP going down quite nicely. I also pop off an Earthblood as well on this unit just to try and keep it a little bit stocked up in this engagement, obviously taking a lot of fire right there. I feel like in this matchup, I wish I brought the Comet spell, the Chalice that the Fey Enchantress does have. That would have been so juicy to bring. Because obviously the dwarfs will blob up. There is an amazing, you know, almost guarantee the dwarfs will be forming a big castle. And if I could get myself to use that, like, kind of, I guess, advanced Comet of Cassandora down, that would rip apart so many minions. It's like 140 points as well. So it would have been so useful to do it. And just look at this, like, this constant fighting. The dwarfs have to kind of come at me, or they have to stay here and continue to take this missile fire. And the dwarven player is finding to decide to actually move forward. And I mean, look at his army. It's depleted. Obviously, he still has these heroes, which my army just isn't capable of killing. I need to bring, like, a Grail Guardian unit to deal with these heroes, or maybe the Green Knight or something. I guess with a Fey Enchantress, I could bring a Paladin on horseback and use him to try and kill this. But look at this, like imagine if I dropped right down right here my comment of, I don't know what the Fey Enchantress spell is called. I just didn't bring it to save points, but really it's something I should have brought. And he's just going to kind of come in this death blob, and realizing he has this advantage, he's going to move in. And it's really up to me to try and silence this. My missiles are going to be finding a perfect shot. Yeah, the Dwarven player, he kind of was just like, I'm sick of being shot. It's time to march forward and fully get stuck in. I have to respect it. His blasting charges and the Slayers will be tearing apart my front line. His missile fire coming in. You can see them questing knights just cutting through my opponent. Really love that unit. I do kind of feel like it is maybe hard to bring a lot of them though. When you're fighting a majority of other factions with anti-large, you kind of don't really have too much else anti-large in your roster. Besides the Grail Guardians, Knights Errant, obviously a super cheap pick, so maybe, I guess, you'd have to go like Knights Errant and then Questing Knights, rather than bringing like a Grail Guardian unit, or a Grail Knight unit, sorry, the Grail Knights are the anti-large one. So right now, you know, I'm just pushing in here. I've surrounded him. My missiles are getting a lot of their ammunition off. The morale is dropping, and I mean, so far, so good. This battle was looking good. I'm getting a lot of my spells off as well. Oh, I do have the spell. Oh, I do have the spell. I didn't think I did. Why the hell would I not have used that beforehand? Okay, well, that's, again, my inexperience. I should have used it up here when the dwarves were holding this line right there. And this battle really has just devolved into an all-out brawl right now. I managed to kill a lot of his infantry, but he's also... That comet maybe killed a lot of my own infantry as well. I've still got a lot of questing knights left. They're only fighting the Ungrim. But again, my armor piercing value is going to be nice on them. They are armored themselves. They're trying to kill, you know, Ungrim, Axe of Drago, trying to kill Felix. You know, it's going to be hard, and obviously you've got the other one as well. Got a trick in there somewhere. And this was also before I really realized that the Fey Enchantress actually has a pretty good charge as well. She can kind of like hammer and anvil an enemy unit. And obviously if she doesn't get stuck down, it's pretty useful. So really, the battle has just kind of devolved into an all-out brawl. At this point, my archers are out of ammunition. And I'm just going to try and grind them down as much as possible. And try and hope that these heroes can be slain. But again, you're really seeing the weakness of like someone who does come into this game a little bit fresher. Maybe hasn't been playing Warhammer too much, hasn't played the campaign in a while. Like, it's like I built these armies to win the battle, but not to kill the heroes. And because of that, I'm losing the battles, you know. I'm clearing out his army. I'm able to take care of him. I just don't have great hero killing capabilities. And do again, if you do have good ideas for great hero killing units that are cost efficient, let me know in the comments. Like, how do I deal with a hero spam like this? I wouldn't say this is like hero spam because it's just a friendly game, who cares? But like, how do I deal with this? How do I deal with 3 pretty strong heroes? Do I take Felix or Gotrek myself? Is like one of them really strong? Because I'm pretty sure Bretonia can take them. I think it's like any Order faction can. So do I need to bring, like, Felix into battle to help me out? Or do I need to bring Gotrek to help me kill the heroes? Do let me know, because again, it would be really useful to know. Yeah, I mean, Gotrek is anti-large as well, so maybe he'd be a useful unit to come in and just help buff out the lines. Please, please, please do let me know in the comments down below. I would find it very useful for all the tips and advice that you guys do have. But yeah, do keep in mind this was a game before, so my high elf game I did play a lot better. I've kind of got a much better idea on the units themselves. And also as well, let me know in the comments. I know, sorry, I'm asking you guys to do a lot. Let me know in the comments what other factions you think I should really pick up. As you can see, I am very much a Bretonian kind of playstyle. I like this kind of micro-intensive gameplay. Factions that have high skill ceilings. I like that style. So do let me know if there's any good suggestions you think would be really suited to me. But as you can see, I'm really struggling here to kill these guys. Gotrek is almost down, which is nice. Unfortunately, his magic resistance is low, and I didn't realize that could be great from the Fey Enchantress's charge into them. That would have been really useful. But my morale is really dropping. At this point, I'd kind of given up, and I was like, screw it, whatever. the battle's lost, so I do just Comet of Cassandra, or the special Fey Enchantresses thing on my own units, and that basically seeds me the battle. But I think at that point I was kind of just a bit over it. I was like, this is over. I'm going to get slowly grinded away. I mean, maybe not. Advanced power wasn't completely out of my favor. And again, here I do use the Fey pretty aggressively, just trying to kill them. Obviously, lots of hammer and anvils. I do almost get Gotrek down completely as well. Which is pretty nice, but he does heal. He just pop a health potion, and I do. So I kind of did give up in the end of a battle, just like, there's no way I can deal with this. It's frustrating. It's GG. And yeah, I do end up losing that battle. But I think overall, that wasn't too bad. For a matchup that I'm supposed to lose, I think I did pretty decently, considering this was like my second or third time with the faction itself. And as you can see, the Questing Knight's definitely doing some serious work in that battle. If I didn't suicide one or two of them, that would have been nice. But I think with this army, for example, without these trebuchets, what I could have done, these are blessed trebuchets as well. So I could have, this is like 800 gold, I think. Without this, I could have brought a paladin. I could have brought close to the Green Knight, maybe dropping a Questing Knight and brought the Green Knight in. That would have been huge. I'm sure he would have been able to do work against these heroes. You know, so this was obviously again a meme army more than anything else. Dragon Goblin was, just having some fun. This was, I think our last game together. So, but still, pretty hard matchup. I'm sure there'd be a much better list against me for the dwarfs, with maybe grudge throws to outrange my missiles and just going a ton of really, really scary like Longbeards, which I don't think I'd be able to kill very effectively. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any good advice for me in the comments. I will be hosting probably on Thursday, Wednesday, maybe Friday. I'll be doing another live stream where we do go ahead and do some more online battles. So make sure, if you're not part of the Discord, you join it using the link in the description down below. That way you'll get updated whenever I go live and you can check it out for yourself. Also, it's a really, really effective way of, just being part of the community, finding out how to join these games and being a part of it, which you can also do. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and fish out.